Hi, is Miss Pearl available still? I think so. That is a Chanel question. You can call her at 580-799-2875. How many milliliters should a machine go for a dying puppy? We talk about oxygen concentrator. Always put your oxygen concentrator at the lowest level, which is typically 1 milliliter per minute. Why do that? Because remember, these things are all designed for human beings that weigh 100 to 200 pounds. And so you might need 5 or 6 liters per minute on those people. But when you've got a dog that weighs a pound, then the lowest setting is more than enough and it gives you the highest concentration. So always the lowest setting. I'm struggling, this is Kerry Horrocks. I'm struggling to DNA one of Pups due to Mum's DNA, as I think her DNA won't allow her to make tan points. Mum is AYAY. Dad is ATAT. So all these puppies should be ATAY, which is sables. And let's see here, what do you get? You got a litter here, you got 1 cream, 2 blues, 2 blue fawns. So the last one is puzzling me. She looks chocolate in color. Well, she could be. Well, she'd have to be a lilac actually, because you've got little d on both dogs, so you've got to have blues. And she's got little CO, lilac on one dog, and big CO, little CO on the other dog. So you'd expect to get half lilacs and half blues that carry cocoa, and then overall a quarter of those would be creams. I thought maybe she's a blue and tan. Well, look. I mean, the first thing is go do a DNA test, find out what's going on. You shouldn't have an AT-AT dog because your dog, one of your dogs is AYAY. However, an AYAT dog, a sable, can show some signs of tan points. So you can see some lightening above the eyes, on the cheeks, on the bum, and maybe a little bit on the feet. So you can see a little bit going on with a sable dog. So, but always, the right answer on this, of course, is to test, right? Professor Dog 3187, is it still okay to breed a dog with a recessed vulva? Yes. Is there any way to fix this without surgery? No. No. So, you can have inverted vulvas. Yeah, I've seen a few dogs with it. I've bred those dogs successfully. Not a problem. I mean, one of the problems is sometimes it's hard to tell they're in heat because everything kind of gets up inside them and they don't drop it out very much. But no problem. And there's nothing that I'm aware of that you can either do surgery-wise or anything else to fix this problem. And it's not really a problem, right? I don't consider this to be a problem. Thomas Gary says, I own a farm in Springboat, Alabama. I want to ask you a question about cryptid merles. He's a chocolate ATA. And is it possible for my Cocoa dog to be platinums? Well, you don't tell me about your Cocoa dog. To be a platinum, both dogs have got a platinum dog is an little d, little CO, little e. And you don't tell me about the DNA on these other dogs, so I can't tell you. And then you asked for a question about cryptic merles, but you didn't physically ask me a question about cryptic merles. So a cryptic merle is a dog that physically was bred from a pairing where one of the dogs was a merle. And you test, and you have to go to the right place, and it's not animal genetics. I think it's UC Davis. And a cryptic merle is a dog that is merle, but physically doesn't show the merle. Pretty unusual situation. And you can breed a cryptic merle to another merle, and there's only a 4% chance of having problems. So it's something that you could do. I've never done it, but anyway. Oh. Joel Fanjul. I became no, he's just saying thank you. Well, you're welcome. Somebody's complaining about my video where I'm taping up puppies' legs, says you seem to be a bit rough with them. Well, I try not to be rough with my puppies. Someone's asking about the brand of our oxygen concentrator. I don't know. I can tell you this. All of this stuff comes from overseas, just like the ones that we sell. But we've been selling
we've been selling 2 models of an oxygen concentrator now for a few years, about 3-4 years. And they've changed the model a little bit, just physically the way that it looks, but they've been reliable and worked very well. So we've sold a lot of those machines with very few problems. I have a newborn with back feet turned out. This is Day Marie. When should I start taping? Now. The sooner you get on this, remember, when puppies are born and the first week or two, their bones are pretty soft and pliable, and they will respond very well to having manipulation on those to bring them into the right orientation. So don't waste time. Right now, today, tape them up. Vladimir Cruz, my female is day 62, no symptoms, temperature is 99.6, reverse PG is 13. Is it okay to wait until day 64? Well, probably, but look, take a temperature every day. If her temperature starts to get down to 99.1, do another PG test to find out where you are. That's what I would do. But look, day 62, no symptoms. You don't tell me how many puppies on board. I'm going to guess not very many, and that is the reason for this. You bred early. You're taking your timing of when you bred, which in fact was the wrong time, may have been a couple of days early. So rather than being 61 days in that case, it would actually be 63 days. So that could well be what's going on here. And I mean, you can breed a dog 5-6 days early, have a litter of 1 puppy, and really go long by a week sometimes. But you know, if you take those puppies early, or that single puppy early, you're likely to be premature and not survive. Okay, someone's saying puppies are beautiful. Todd Brom. I love a lot of your products, and I've got a lot of the great information, but I completely disagree with keeping puppies in such a small cage. I moved mine at 4 weeks to a puppy playpen. Well, we do too. That is 8 foot by 8 foot, so they can really start moving and using pellet training. Mum definitely does not need to be with there 24/7. They would never do that naturally at that age. In fact, when the rest of my pack start sniffing them through the pen, and that socializes them far better. Right, well, we've all got our own opinions on this stuff. So, you know, is Todd's way better than what we do? Well, what we do is this. We do put puppies into a much larger pen, typically actually a 4 foot by 4 foot with a raised floor when we wean them, at around 4 to 5 weeks. And then we will let mum in there with the maybe, just depends on the mum. If mum wants to be with the babies, fine. And then eventually we move to a much longer, bigger playpen where they can really run around. So, you know, I think I'm pretty much doing it the same way that you're doing it, but again, each to their own. Jason says, what is testable? Testable is little b. So back in the day, before they had a test for cocoa, we called dogs that were obviously chocolate, but you couldn't test for it, we called those untestable. Now we call that cocoa because we have a test for it. And then the testable dogs, we call them testable because we had a test for it, and they're little b dogs. Encouraged me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Frisky now, come on up here, girl.